And it says we are live. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes Live. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit the notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. So we have a number of news items to talk about tonight. You may have noticed that yesterday we did not put up a countdown question. I can't because, as many of you know, I had some issues with a guy named Neil from Georgia, and that has continued on, to be honest with you. The person cannot contact me anymore, but if you, if you don't like that you don't get to vote, if you don't like that there wasn't a question, if you're missing out on content, you can blame Neil from Georgia. It's 100% his fault. So that said, there will be a countdown on Monday, however, and that countdown is actually going to be a personal one that a couple of people requested me to do a long time ago. And I was always like, I do vote, so I don't know when I'm going to fit this in. This seemed like a good time to fit in the top 10 Transformers characters I still want to add to my collection. Some of them will already have figures out that I don't have. Some of them we've never had a figure of. So that's going to be Monday's countdown. It is a little bit out of the norm, but you're going to get a bit of insight into kind of what I still would like to add to my personal collection. Not something that we usually do, but don't worry. Next week, we will be back with a normal countdown question. If you missed it yesterday, we're going to talk about what yesterday's review was a little bit later, and we're going to talk about what tomorrow's will be and what Tuesday's will be. So let me just check in with you guys here. Hey, Dragonfly Franzese. Megatron's finally showed up. Haven't had time to transform him yet, but he's hefty. He's a good beast. Yeah, he clocks in at 293 grams, so still a little bit light for leader class, but considering all the paint, considering all the parts count, considering it's a single-use mold, apparently, I think that it's still very much a leader class. He's phenomenal. Hey, Big M. Hey, Blue. Hey, Albert. Hey, Lion. Mike. Yeah, I mean, it happens. You live with it. You live with it, right? This is number one be Haslab Unicron, not a chance. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Daryl. Okay, so we do have a little bit of news. Actually, not a lot of news. I don't predict that this is going to be a long show, but I do predict we might have a smaller crowd because I couldn't do the normal promo for the show. So if you know someone that misses it or would normally be here that's not here, by all means, let them know, hey, the show is on. Or by all means, please share it around after, because I'm not really going to be able to do all my normal sharing around. I'm only going to be able to do some of my sharing around. So anything helps, basically. All right. So how about we stop wasting time and let's kind of kick ourselves off with the news right away with this. And you might notice that the very first thing that comes up here is Transformers Eternal War mobile game, closed beta, gameplay, images, and video, which we're going to talk about. I will also note that apparently Project Goliath, which was another video game that I believe was being developed by Skydance, I want to say is the company's name. I could be wrong about that. I'm not a huge gamer anymore. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. I just don't have the time. But that game has been canceled, apparently. So that's unfortunate. As for this one, I mean, I'm not going to be showing what's what I'm looking for, videos and stuff, but you got an idea here of like what Optimus would look like in it. These are a lot of the characters. I find it very interesting when you look at these to see what some of the molds were that were used. For example, when you see the model for Swoop here, the model for Swoop is obviously the 86 Swoop, but the model for Sludge is obviously Power of the Prime Sludge. Hound is obviously Siege Hound. So it's very interesting to take note of that. The Ratchet is obviously 86 Ratchet. I think the Seekers are the Combiner Wars Leader Class Seekers. I think the model used for Megatron is the Combiner Wars Leader Class Megatron. So very interesting. Like there's Ironhide, obviously based on 86 Ironhide, right? This obviously is Combiner Wars First Aid. No doubt it's Combiner Wars. This is obviously Power of the Primes Jazz. This is obviously Titan's Return Bumblebee. You know by the big arms, you know by the way the shins are. I'm guessing Kingdom Huffer, Siege, not Earthrise, Siege, Sideswipe. See, Power of the Prime Sludge. This is definitely the Power of the Prime Sludge. You know by how low the wings are on behind him. You also know by the tail on the outside of the leg there. Siege Hound. I'm guessing 86 RC, 86 Ratchet, 86 Swoop, right? Optimus, I'm guessing is MP10, I would assume. Like, I think it's Siege. I don't think it's Earthrise. I think it's Siege Mirage. I'm guessing Earthrise Wheeljack, though he's definitely got some color variation to him. Siege Skyfire. I'm thinking this is a slightly modified 86 Grimlock. I don't know where the Constructicons are coming from, but I do feel like all of them have heads that are too big for their bodies. Like, look at Bone Crusher's head compared to his body. I feel like it's wildly too large, especially then when you go to Thundercracker and his head is so much smaller. I said it was that leader class, but it might not be that leader class. Maybe this is like based on like an MP mold or something. I'm not sure. But like, I look at this Megatron and look at the legs, look at the chest, look at the red on the side. Not the fusion cannon though, but this is heavily inspired by Combiner Wars Megatron. Like, look at the head on Long Haul here. So, I mean, you get the idea. This is obviously the Legacy Dead End. So, I'm guessing that this is MP13 Soundwave, right? So, you get the idea. And, like, funny enough, I look at Breakdown here, and I think that might be Combiner Wars Breakdown. So, it's a weird hodgepodge mix of alt modes and stuff. And I think it's mostly a fighting game. So make of that what you will. As we go up here, Yolopark AMK G1, Optimus, Bumblebee, Starscream, and Tarn are out in Singapore. We talked about them last week. We're going to talk about the G1 at least B and Optimus in just a little bit. There's not much to see there. They're in box, but they are out in Singapore. So I would think that before too long, they will make their way to North America. By the way, I'm eating French fries because I'm actually eating part of my supper while we talk. Fun fact, I like dipping my French fries in honey. I know it's weird, but if you've never tried it, try it. Okay. Double Mechanics Studio. I've sort of teamed up. We've talked about this before, but we haven't really looked at it for a legend scale broadside. Hold on. I just want to see something before I go into the pictures there. 13 centimeters. So this broadside is meant to scale with their Devastator once Devastator is all done. I think it looks pretty good, honestly, with the red lower body and the gray upper body. You know, I like the kind of wing pieces behind him. I mean, he even comes with little tiny planes to go on. I think they're like 1 centimeter planes, so they're going to be tiny to go in his like carrier mode. This is his bulky plane mode, but it looks very G1 accurate, so I'm not angry at it at all. A lot of yellow and blue and red detail picked out here. And maybe you are the sort of person, though, that's not the model that you think of when you think of broadside. You think of the other model. Some people call it the prototype model, but I'm pretty sure both appeared on the show. This is the one where instead of the blue eyes and the all kind of gray white head with I think like a faceplate, this one has the red face and the more angular head. And instead of the blue cockpit on the chest, this one has a gray a two-tone gray chest, so a little bit different. That said, while the robot mode is different and the color of the planes are different, overall, the detailing is pretty similar to what it was in the other one. I would call the other one more toy accurate. I would call this more animation accurate, because you'll notice that we're missing some of the blue and yellow detailing on the like body of the airplane, even though we still have it on the wings. So I think that this head sculpt and what I think this is meant to be more toon accurate. I think the first one was meant to be more toy accurate. And then, yeah, like that looks good, right? Like I think that looks good. They're all tiny because it's all like, I can't call it Legends. It's more Micromaster scale than anything else. And this apparently was a prototype coloration. Sorry, I got confused earlier. Apparently this was like a prototype coloration with the different head and the blue arms and stuff. I think this would have been fine too. This one, of course, also comes with planes and whatnot. You know what Dr. Wu is like. If they see a chance to do a repaint, they love doing them just as much, if Hasbro ever did. So like when I think of Broadside, this is what immediately comes to mind to me, probably because I have the Titans Return one. Right? That looks great. A lot of people will know this one. Like I said, I think it's the toon accurate one. They're almost very similar. It's just a little less detail on it. And this is apparently the prototype one. Make of it what you will. I don't know if it actually is or isn't, but those planes, those aerial bots, because that's what they're meant to be, the aerial bots, they are going to be tiny. It's cool, though. I think it's a really, really ambitious and interesting project to do a triple changer at that scale, honestly. We're going to move up. Oh. And get back into this. Squeezelings sidekicks found in the US. And when I went down and I started reading through them, it said we have a look at Optimus Prime, packed with IDW Transformers, issue 1 from 2009, and Optimus Primal packed with an issue of the IDW Beast Wars, The Gathering miniseries. So it's basically Squeezelings with a comic book for the most part. I don't know if you're into the Squeezelings. Like, I've got a couple that I saw at like the dollar store and stuff. If you want an IDW comic to go with it, I guess you could get these. Like, I got the little Grimmy, for example, right? I don't really like the comic books, so I wouldn't get this. But I've seen the Primal. I think I have 2 of the Optimus, if I'm not mistaken. So I got a couple of these. They're cute. I love the sculpt on them. I love the paint on them. But I mean, they don't transform or articulate, or they don't really do anything. And they are kind of squishy, though they did change it a bit. So like the Grimlock is actually pretty solid, honestly. Let's see. Oh, not for nothing. The basic line Optimus, this is the Optimus without any diecast or a trailer. The Hot Wheels basic line Optimus has been found in the UK. I find the UK gets the Hot Wheels stuff like before anybody else. Like, I feel like the first sightings are always in the UK. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. We're going to go back here, and we're going to go down to here. I'm actually going to go through all of the news here, then check in with you guys. And we'll do the trivia and stuff then, because there's not a lot of news. So I'm kind of getting it all out of the way. But don't worry. I'm going to get back to your comments now in just a couple of minutes. We have what apparently is a first look at Alpha Trion's alt mode for Age of the Primes. I don't know if it actually is, but I mean, I get why the speculation is there. I mean, you look at this and you see Air Raid up behind, and you see Star Convoy in the front there. And then you see this up in the kind of far left corner. And a lot of people are saying that this is Alpha Trion. It might be. I could certainly believe it. There's a lot of purple there. I certainly see hints of what I would suspect is Alpha Trion. I expect the front probably folds out to become toes. That said, I don't really see a need for this. Not for me. I respect its existence and all of that good stuff. But I mean, I have the 2-pack Alpha Trion that came with Orion packs, and I feel like that's a pretty ideal Alpha Trion. And I love the Scourge mold anyway. And I also have the Titans Return one, because that Lion mode and stuff is it's Shattered Glass Alpha Trion. If you know Shattered Glass Alpha Trion, it's the Titans Return Alpha Trion. And I'm interested to see what size class this Alpha Trion will be in the end, what it will actually pan out to be like, if it will look G1-esque, if it will look like something from another era, because I look at this alt mode and it seems a little more angular, and I really feel like that this Alpha Trion might be very heavily inspired by like Covenant of Primus aligned Alpha Trion. And if you haven't looked that up, look up like, you know, Covenant of Primus Alpha Trion and see what he looks like. It's you definitely know it's Alpha Trion, but it's definitely not G1 Alpha Trion, right? So I don't know. I guess we'll see. Him being a ship, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't think we ever saw Alpha Trion's actual alt mode. So this makes sense to me. I'm cool with it. Can't wait. I really can't wait to see his head sculpted. That's what I'm interested to see. Possible first look. It seems pretty likely that this is a look at the Studio Series War for Cybertron Thundercracker. I mean, yeah, the dude's blue. You can see he has the gray and red, or the silver and red, that he should have on his wings. I do feel like there's a sea of blue here, and I get it. He's always like that. I mean, you look at the Earthrise one, you look at the Siege one. Heck, you go back and you look at the Deluxe War for Cybertron lad. And yeah, this looks right. I got no issue with it. I really wish that these guys had those like Gatling guns that the Deluxes came with. Giving them this and not giving them proper null rays or something. I don't know. To me, it seems, I don't know. I don't like the accessories they came with. This looks fine. Again, I don't have any issue with this. I don't know why there's not a Skywarp there. That'd be cool to see the whole trio together. Either you like this mold or you don't like this mold. I like it fine enough. I do feel like the cockpit on the chest is a bit oversized. And I do feel like the plane wings are pretty darn small. I think they should have been a bit bigger. But I feel like if you made them bigger, it might look awkward on the robot mode. So I think that they had to go with the compromise. Do we keep the silhouette accurate in robot mode and kind of compromise the size of the wings a little bit in alt mode, or do we do the alt mode wings correct and have them kind of splay out a little more than they should in the robot mode? By the way, I'm looking here. Maybe he doesn't have the silver wing details. Maybe it's just the red. It is just the red. Look at that. I can't remember if that's accurate or not. But, I mean, again, if you have the Starscream, the Megatron, the Skywarp, I mean, how are you not in for Thundercracker? You know, like, again, this is one of those cases, like I said last week with Hatchet and when I done his review on Friday, if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. I had the other three. I wanted to complete the group. If I didn't have the other three, would I have bothered getting Hatchet? No, probably not, because he's not that great. Let's go up here. Wild King showed up there in Wave 2. They're about $20 US. Their names this time will be Ignite Leo, Spirituan, Drill No Horn. Instead of Drill Horn, Drill No Horn, and Thunderbeak. Just take Thunder and put a word after it and you get a Transformers name. Again, like I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I guess it looks all right. I mean, they're a little janky for sure, but it's just the exact same thing. It's just the mold again recolored. It's more of the same to me. This guy turns into a cool looking little lion, right? But I mean, is this really fundamentally any different than, you know, the dinosaurs or the mammoth, for example? You know, I got nothing against this. I think they're neat. I think they're cool. I don't think I would go hunting them down to import them, but you know, if they were just going to be released on the shelf, I might pick up a couple just for fun. The thing is, though, if you're in for them, you kind of have to be in for the Optimus and or the Megatron, because that's the whole gimmick, is that they combine with those guys. And I really don't like the Optimus or the Megatron. This looks all right, though. Again, he becomes like an arm type of thing, right? And goes on Optimus again, right? I mean, we've seen it before, so you get the idea. This guy is obviously going to be, what are they called? Oh, I can't remember what the name is on this type of dinosaur, and it's driving me bonkers. Somebody will know in the comments when I go and check with you guys in a few minutes, I'm sure. I like this color scheme, though. I think it looks really good. Oh. This one is a rhinoceros. This is probably drill no horn, right? Drill no horn. Honestly, drill. He didn't even try. And I love this one. I love the coloration, the turquoise and the yellow. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful. I guess it's a pterodactyl, maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's very dino-esque though. Love the look of it. I think that's probably my favorite one. But again, at the end of the day, yeah, all the dino ones seem to go with Megatron, and all of the other animal ones seem to go with Optimus. That seems to be the way that they're going, right? Again, I'm not against it or anything like that. It's just, I'm sort of indifferent to them. I don't think they're bad. I just wouldn't go bothering to import them. We're going to talk about this in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to go back. This will be the last piece of news that we review, but it's rough, buddy. It is rough. When we have a crack in the torso, right there is the crack, right there at a package for some, after a few transformations for others. I think that's a serious problem. And then these reports, the yellowing, I thought that was all fixed. We're going to talk about this in a minute, right? Now, there is a fix, but like this was a crowd-funded, Kickstarter type of thing. You can't just take this back to... We'll get to it in a minute. We have more in-hand images of Age of the Primes, Sideways, and Excellion. I'm not going to lie. I don't really know Excellion. I always thought that it was just... I'm actually trying to go down to see a couple of... I want to see this. To me, I just thought it was a recolored red hotshot. I didn't know he went by a different name. This looks cool, but like I don't remember this. This is not my memory of Sideways. My memory of Sideways is the like more motorbike one. I guess this is him with the original Sideways. The color scheme's wildly different though. And I not for nothing, I could be getting some of the information wrong here because this is not my era. I own it. I've watched it a bunch of times. I don't remember any of it at all. I mean, he's a fair-sized deluxe. I mean, he's a bit bigger than one of the aerial bots there, at least in terms of height. You look at him here. I feel like the height of the hotshot mold is fairly tall. I mean, you can see how it is next to Voyager, Vector Prime. So I think he's a good size for what he is, honestly. And if we go down to this guy, I mean, I honestly just thought that Hotshot got like a power up and a new color scheme. Somebody said that this was an homage to Hot Rod. So, and maybe it is. I don't know this mold. I don't have this mold. So I can't really speak too much on it. But he looks fine in red. He looks fine in blue. He looks fine in red. DNA Design. They actually showed off a couple of kits. So we're going to kind of do both of them now. This is the Optimus Prime one. Really funny. So I see here that there's pieces that go implanted into his chest to give the blue and the green and the silver coloration that's there from the movie. I just painted what was already molded in there. I mean, I guess you could spend money on this kit, and I guess you could do it. But you know what's cheaper? Getting yourself a little fine tip blue metallic paint pen and a fine tip green metallic paint pen and maybe a silver. And what I did is I done all the back in silver, and then once that dried, I done over the blue where it's supposed to be in blue and over the green where it's supposed to be in green. Make of it what you will. I'm not saying don't get this. I think if you're getting this though, you're really getting it for the side hip skirts that cover those ugly gray hip joints. I mean, and there's the other kit, by the way, that has the Megatron arm. So you see the original, you see the Megatron arm added, and then in the last one, it's the Megatron arm and the hip skirts. But I think the Megatron arm is its own separate kit, if I'm not mistaken. But that's not the only thing from DNA Design. They also showed off kits for the Tidal Wave, the Megatron, and the Galvatron. So For the Telewave, I have no idea what they're showing here. Apparently, it's supposed to make the arms better articulated. I don't know what the range of motion is on the arms. I don't have Tidal Wave, and I think I only saw like one review of him. But they claim it'll give more dynamic posing. I really don't know how. I do like the back filler. I think that that's cool just to have it covered in. The little tab here is supposed to help these two pieces to stay tabbed together better. I didn't know that they didn't tab together well. I haven't heard any complaints about it. The Galvatron, he gets, I guess, like forearm covers that covers forearms. He also got like bigger horns that are angled a little bit more. DNA Design talks about there could be glue on some of these sections. So, you know, you might have to be careful with the disassembly and that sort of stuff. I mean, cool, I guess. I don't know. I'm looking at this and I'm just thinking, I don't really know the molds. So I don't know if what's added here is true blue extra added value. Usually it is. And I like DNA Design. I don't know if there's anything there that like helps solidify the shoulder pauldrons or anything, for example. I don't know if they're supposed to move with the arm. So you guys would know that better than me if you have this. But it is coming out if you're so inclined to get it. And you can see certainly the difference with his head here of the typical horns and the upgraded horns, right? I don't know. I feel like these two kits, I don't know if there's enough in them being just fillers to impress me a whole bunch. Maybe it impresses you a whole bunch. And this officially licensed Optimus Prime bookends by Nemesis Now. I'm not showing that. Yeah, there you go. So you can take Optimus's face and split it into bookends. Nicely molded, no doubt about it. I like it. Or you can put it together and just have it be a bust. You know, so I mean, put your books in between. Get your Covenant of Primus and put it between Prime's head. Why not? Right? So it's okay. I got nothing against it. Now, that's it, really, for the news. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to check in with you guys, and then we're going to talk about that Haslab Omega Prime a minute. So let me go down. I know I've missed up, but we'll get through it now. It'll be fine. We ended there with Daryl. Hey, Snell, happy to see you here. Got your 2 Trypticons in, so now I am 19 Trypticons and Gigastorms. Where do you put them all? Why so many? I'm so confused. Hey, Big Easy. Hasbro, we're going to focus more on video games. Also, Hasbro, canceling everything. Yeah, right? Transformers games and then those death faces for Marcus. It's like they took some random fans Transformer collection and just based all the models after whatever they had. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. For obviously, Eternal Wars is what you're talking about. What the heck is this garbage, Hasbro? Way to focus on video games there, Cox. Bone Crusher looks ridiculous. He didn't look that. I don't know what they use for the Constructicons, but it's like they used something that was like chibi, super deformed or something. Don't mind me eating French fries. The poor Constructicons. Secret looks like the masterpiece version based on the wing shapes. Yes, but I don't think the shoal or the pauldrons are the masterpiece. So I'm not sure. Maybe they're a mishmash. Maximal 10. Maybe they're a mishmash. Hey, D-Dog, don't worry about it, buddy. I am enjoying my fries. Thank you. I have chicken too, but I didn't think I should try and eat chicken on the air. But French fries, why not? You have enough to share with the rest of the class. I do. And you know what? I would share with the rest of the class. I would share with my students. Absolutely, I would share with my students. A lot of people here in the U.S. dip their fries in Wendy's Frosties. Okay. So here in Canada, we have a chain called Mary Brown's, and that's what this is. And I like dipping their fries in honey. I also like dipping A&W fries in honey. Another chain that we have. Great fries for dipping. I like McDonald's fries and KFC fries and DQ fries with mayo. I love them with mayo or my chicken sauce. That's my fries. That's my fries thing. Starscream White, always poutine. It's always cheese and gravy. There's more gravy running through her veins than blood. It's a weird combo. I admit it, but something about the salty and the sweet is real nice together. I'm sorry I'm making you hungry, but I didn't have time to. I had such a bad night's sleep last night. I had to work all day. I came home and I said to my wife, man, I need to lie down for like an hour. It's no way I could do the live show with this little sleep. So I lied down. But after that, it was like, okay, now I still got this, and this to do, right? And time just ran out. So that's why I'm eating fries now. I'd say Hasbro needs to redo Broadside, but it would be at least leader class. So I like the Titans Return Broadside. And you know what? He scales real well with the other Autobot triple changers in robot mode. Just like with Tidal Wave. Had to think on his name for a moment. I don't think that Titan was the way to go. I think Commander class was the way to go. Now, I get that Tidal Wave was a little bit of a smaller Titan. Here's the way I look at it for Broadside. There's no way on God's green earth that I would spend a Titan class price on Broadside. I also cannot, for me, reconcile him as the same size as a Metroplex or a Trypticon or a Fort Max or whatever. He's not. I think Commander class. I think you could get an excellent Broadside out of a Commander class. I would be behind that. I would be behind that price point. That's the other thing. You got to look at the price point and what's likely to sell. Color scheme seems to make sense. I agree with you, Daryl. That algorithm kind of reminds me of the one from the Alpha Trion reminds me of the one from the 2-pack. Wondering if it will be a retool of that. It could be. It could be like a retool of like that Scourge mold for sure. I completely agree with you that it could be that. Had a hot dog from Costco. It's amazing how everything on the planet goes up, but the price of that hot dog at Costco never changes. I missed the 2-pack and have Power of the Primes Orion packs for my G1 version. That's fair. That's fair. So I'm looking forward to the new Alpha Trion. Absolutely. That's the other thing. Like if I didn't have the 2-pack Alpha Trion, I would be so excited for this because as much as I like the Titans Return, I know it's shattered glass, right? So I'm always kind of been like, yeah, he works as Alpha Trion, but he's really a bit of a bad guy, Alpha Trion. So I'm glad to have the two I have, but I'm excited to see what this one's going to look like. I like the character of Alpha Trion. I may not know Alpha Trion Titans Return, but that Alpha Trion reminds me of the BotCon exclusive. I can see that. I can see how it would remind you of the BotCon exclusive for sure. Can't wait to get the Warp Cybertron Thundercracker. I love the other two. He's nice, but I doubt I'll be picking him up. Too many combiners on the table. Thunder Potato. Thunder Potato. By the way, I received from Amazon Age of the Prime Slingshot. I couldn't get the one from Combiner Wars. He's nice, but not great. I don't like the long heels. I think they could have solved that better. So I also saw today I want to say maybe it was like the Transformers 3D printing group or something like on Facebook or something like that, that there is actually an adapter for that slingshot to be used with the Combiner Wars mold to go in the shoulder. So you could have all of your other Combiner Wars aerial bots, but if you didn't want Alpha Bravo, you could take Alpha Bravo out. And with this printed adapter that apparently goes into the chest, like goes, I guess, into the two spots in the chest. I don't know where else it would like fit in, but it will go down in the combiner slot. I think it's a great way for people that don't necessarily want to go in on the new version. but would like to have a slingshot, I think that 3D printed piece would be a good way to go. So I don't know. I don't have pictures, unfortunately, but it's a good way to go. And I just saw it offhand. I can't even tell you who had it posted, for example. I went to Three Seekers, but I'm going to what? I'm going to Preferred Generations. That's fine. Thunder fries. My fries are going down good, by the way. So don't mind me eating. This plane mode is so great. Spinosaurus. Thank you, Dragonfly. Yes, that Wild King dino was a Spinosaurus. Thank you. Isn't that the guy from Jurassic Park 3? Yeah, Spinosaurus. Yeah, you guys got me. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the mold that was in the Jurassic Park like 2-pack or whatever. Was the Spinosaurus even a real dinosaur? No idea. You know who'd know? My wife. She loves dinos. Let's see. 100,000 for the smallest cracked Haslab project down the toilet. Well, we're going to talk about that. Yeah. We're going to talk. I'm going to kind of gloss over that a little bit. Sucks to hear about the Omega Primes. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I think Excellion was Hotshot's Japanese name. Oh, okay. That's cool. I'm sorry about Haslab having QC issues is just ridiculous. People back them, and they shouldn't release these items till they perfect. Another reason it shouldn't exist. We'll talk about that in just a second. Yeah, I know Sideways is a herald of Unicron blue. It's just I don't remember that body type for it. That wasn't the original Sideways. It was the repaint into Scourge. Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's why I was recognizing it. It was the Scourge repaint. My bad. Hopefully they have it fixed for Lyle Kaiser. Hotshot had the Cyber Planet key to ignite the speed to the point his paint to flame as Excellion accelerated through the race line. Okay, if you say so. So I'm torn. A buddy of mine works at a store that got an unopened, but the box is damaged for the Megatron his tank. He said he might be able to sell it to me for $50. I want it. Why are you torn? Get it. Definitely worth $50. It's big. And I don't remember which Joes come with that, but get it. Absolutely get it. Nice of DNA designed to put upgrade kits for 2 characters together, so you don't have to buy unless. Now I thought that too, because those characters kind of go together, being Tidal Wave and the Megatron or Galvatron, whatever. I think it's real nice that they put those together too. Yes, I do agree with that. The Prime is all one kit. I stand corrected. I wasn't sure if it was all one kit or not. How dare you get fries and not taters? Don't like taters. Not a fan of taters. My wife does. She has a taters poutine. Don't even like them at all. That's absolute blasphemy. By the way, Daryl, I'm going to message you tomorrow after work or in the afternoon. I'm going to message you tomorrow, see if we can set up a time to meet or something, if you're cool with that. I dipped my fries in chocolate ice cream as a kid. Interesting. Was it good? Top 10 got my fries. We used to have A&W. Oh, man. I love A&W. Grandpa Burger. 3 patties. Cheese. Bacon. Oh, yeah. It's good. Best Broadside to this day is Fans Project. I've heard people say that. I really don't know. I never handled it. But I have heard that, and I can believe it. Fans Project done so many good things. They were, when it came to third-party stuff, man, they were really ahead of their time and really took some risks. Not everything panned out, but a lot of it did. I agree with Broadside's Commander class. Wasn't Broadside a Titan in 5 Phases of Darkness? No, he wasn't. I mean, he landed on Devastator, but Devastator's not a Titan either. By rights, neither is Omega Supreme. None of them are Titans. None of them are the size of Metroplex and Triptych kind of stuff. They're just not. We accept them as that big because what are you going to do? But no, he's not a Titan. I'm going to say it, and I've said it again. He's a big boat. And if you're going to say, yeah, but those aircraft carriers are gigantic. Yes, they are. They carry on average about 5,000 people. For something to be considered a city, like a Titan is supposed to be, like a base, like a city, they typically are defined by having 50,000 people. Literally 10 times bigger. So I can't buy him as Titan. I can't buy that price point for Broadside. But I can buy him definitely as... Now, I could probably buy him as a Titan if he's like the Star Convoy, where he's a cheaper Titan and only like 15 inches. But to me, that's not Titan. To me, that's more Supreme class, right? They're calling it Titan, but come on. Come on. We all know it's Supreme class, right? Star Convoy is about the size of Armada, Unicron, and Primus, right? Let me go down here. I'm skipping some stuff here now, guys. Finds of the week, DevCon for 50. Galactic Odyssey Batropolis set, 110. I don't know if that's good where you live. I mean, seems a bit overpriced to me, but maybe that's typical where you live because I'm not sure. Because aren't you in Australia? So I'm not sure what the exchange rate and stuff is there, right? But I'm happy you got him. I love DevCon. He's great. Actually, I love the Batropolis set too. Also an excellent buy, and I don't remember what I paid for that now. So maybe 110 is great. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Spinosaurus was the dinosaur. A Baroness comes with it, so it does. Thank you. Sideways is voiced by Paul Dobson. Little I knew years later. I hear him as the devil himself in... I don't know what Super Hulk is. Did I mention someone came from Queen of Speed to Teacher? Oh, yeah, no, I didn't, but... I do remember you mentioning that to me, though. Yeah, she works at a university or something in British Columbia. That's Override's voice actor, by the way. She's like a prof or something at a university or something in British Columbia. I didn't know. Love Armada stuff, even though I find the show unwatchable. That's fair. Maybe you like the designs. Nothing wrong with that. A lifelong crush on Baroness. Who hasn't? Chocolate ice cream, fries and chocolate ice cream with yum. Most AWs here are joined with Long John Silver. We don't have Long John Silvers, but I've always wanted to try it. Here are some of the AWs. No, none of the AWs. I'm sorry. I was going to say bundled with Wendy's. That's not true. A couple of Wendy's are bundled with Tim Hortons. Considering Blitzwing, imagine the carrier kibble on Broadside's plane mode. Moo, yikes. Okay, so I'm going to do the trivia and let you guys answer, and then I'm going to talk about the Omega Prime, okay? And then we're going to do the unboxing. Get out of here. So here's the trivia. We know that Alchemist's lenses allow him to see the other side of any story or problem. They also have multiple insignias on them, molded into them. Which of the insignias below is not molded onto Alchemist Prime's lenses? Is it A, the ancient Power of the Primes, I guess we'll call it, logo for Alchemist Prime? Like, does he have his own logo on the lenses? That's A. B, ancient Predacon. C, ancient Autobot logo. And D, Unicron's logo. Which one is not molded on the lenses of Alchemist Prime? His own logo, the ancient Predacon logo, the ancient Autobot logo, or Unicron's logo? Which one is not on the lenses? A, B, C, or D? Alchemist himself, ancient Predacon, ancient Autobot, or Unicron? Okay, while you guys think about that and give me the answer, I'm going to talk about the Haslab Omega Prime. I said from day damn one with that Unicron, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. They should absolutely not be crowdfunding. It's despicable. It's disgusting. just shows how much they lack confidence in their own product. Make the damn thing, put it out on the shelves for people to buy. The only time that it's appropriate for there to be crowdfunding and kickstarting is when the producer has a design but does not have the capital to produce it. That's why we do Kickstarters. That's why we do crowdfunding, because they are small businesses that need to know they're going to be able to cover the costs of production. In Hasbro's case, there is no reason to do it, because when it boils down to business, and business 101 is this, and anybody that owns a business, that's in business, should ask this question first above all. How does this benefit the customer or the client? If it doesn't benefit the customer or the client, then maybe you shouldn't frigging do it. And this is the case here. Everyone was so excited. This one had a reasonable price. And as soon as you get it, what happens? There's breaks in there. You got to take it apart. You got to sand stuff down. So people have taken them apart, and all the teeth on one side of like a rib is broken, cracked down. Some people have taken them apart, and you got that lube, that grease that they use all over your hands. Now, you don't know how toxic that is. Then you got some of the Ultra Magnuses that are yellowed out of packaging. Okay, what about the ones that aren't? Are they going to yellow over time? Because if I crowdfunded this and that's what happened to me, I would be livid. Now, to Hasbro's credit, people have contacted them about that, and there has been an email sent out basically saying you have to mail it back. Now, it doesn't say they're going to cover your mailing costs, by the way. You have to mail it back. The parts that you need will be like reordered. They should get them in June. I guess they'll fix it and they'll send it back. Now, as far as I'm concerned, what you should be doing to make it right is, actually, you know what? I think there was actually a prepaid postage for it. So, yes, it's great that they're going to fix it, as they should, for something that's crowdfunded. But you know what? If I waited this long for my Omega Prime and I got him and this was wrong and I had to pack him up and send him the hell back and wait even longer now because Hasbro couldn't do their job right first, I'd be really angry. Really angry. There have been problems with at least the Star Saber, and now there have been problems with the Omega Prime. It should not happen. The whole point of you apparently doing your crowdfunding is we can work everything. We're going to adjust all this. It's going to be perfect when you get it, and it's not. And now it's starting to make you look real bad as a company. That's my take on it. I think it is unforgivable that they crowdfund as it is. But beyond that, even if you can get past that, even if we get cool with that, what you send out absolutely, positively has to be top tier. I'm going to tell you now, I backed that Lyle Kaiser. And the other two that I backed, I love. I did not have the QC that a lot of people did. I was very lucky, especially with Star Saber. But I'm telling you now, third time better be the charm. Because if there's problems with Lyle Kaiser, especially as a combiner, I think that they will have to stop doing Haslabs because you're getting to a point now where too many of them are having issues and breakage. It's like MP. MP is a line that ended. After Ultra Magnus, almost every single MP that was released had breakage issues. And for some reason, people still bought them. Look at that MP Hound. That thing had a ton of breakage issues. Or the, oh my goodness. The tracks had breakage issues. The 36 Megatron had breakage issues, right? So like you got to go back again to Business 101. You got to give customers the absolute best product at the most competitive price. And Hasbro hasn't done that for a long, long time. Now, okay. Very quickly here. Let's see what you guys said. D, B and A, D. Unicron, you say it was B. The Predacon, the ancient Predacon logo is the one that's not on the lenses. The Unicron logo that's on there is from, I want to say, I can't remember if it's Beast Wars Uprising or The Gathering. The Blendtrons. The Blendtrons. There you go. Beast Wars, the Blendtrons. They used the Unicron logo. That's on the lenses. As is Ancient Autobot logo. as is Alchemist's own logo, but not an Ancient Predacon logo. Go figure. Okay, so as we go down here, I think Hasbro stopped proper breakage testing to save money and time. Maybe, but it's going to cost them their company. Let's see. If they put something at retail, what will be the price with box art and shelving and purchase that will kill the wallet of the buyer? It wouldn't, because you just put it in a standard box. You don't need to spend money on all this fancy boxes and stuff. They could have sold the two of them as 2 Commander class. Boom. And you could sell Blue Bolts as a deluxe. Boom. 2 Commander class and Blue Bolts. Boom. Everybody could get it or get the parts they want. I watched one review and I'm like, this really isn't that different from the original. Granted, though, there are aspects where it connects together more solidly, but I don't know if it's different enough for me to say, wow, this is so much better than the original, because the original is pretty darn good. I've reviewed that one. I believe Hasbro is sending shipping labels. Yes, I think you're right, and I was wrong about that, Big M. You're right, they are. I also hate how some places you can't even order Haslab. It should be available to everyone. That's true as well. QC issues aside, Omega Prime is the biggest ripoff, just due to it being basically the $200 RID figures with hardly any modern changes. What was the answer? The answer was B, the blend, or B, the Predacon, the Ancient Predacon logo. The Star Saber win was what? The Star Saber I won, I think you meant to say instead of win, was perfect. The guy checked it before putting it in the game. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, right? I actually like the older the older Optimus over the new one. Me too. I like the older Optimus over the new one too. And apparently those chest pieces don't go in closer. They're connected to the shoulders. No thanks. It's not for me. I'm happy for people happy with it. I think it's a good product if you avoid the QC, but I feel like there was a couple of design issues and now a couple of major QC issues. I'm losing a lot of faith. Not that I had a lot left in Hasbro, but it's so funny. You go back to my early days on the channel, and man, I was a big Hasbro defender. So my attitude change is because of how Hasbro does business. So that should tell you something, how my attitude has changed toward them over the years. Okay, let's get out of here with the unboxing. Very first thing I just want to know, if you didn't see it, because again, I wasn't able to share it around properly on Tuesday, I already reviewed this. It is the Action Edition Megatron. There was one little breakage. This is Maximal 10. There was one little breakage of a hip skirt that was unfortunate. I think he's going to glue it on, and it's this side over here. But this is a dandy Megatron. Granted, though, his hands are gigantic. But that's Blackies for you. Like I've said before, there's something just ever so slightly a little chibi about them. So that was Tuesday's review. I just wanted to show it here because I didn't give it attention in a proper unboxing last week. Then tomorrow's review was sent to us by my buddy Hal. First things first, in the box is his book, Sins of the Father. I don't have it down in the description now, but I'm going to put a link down in the description where you can buy from Amazon. And it's a link he sent me. I think it's on .com and .ca. Also, in tomorrow's review, I talk a little bit about this, and I will also put a link in tomorrow's review as well if you'd like to check it out. It is definitely fantasy. It's a fantasy novel, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. So that was in a box, but also in the box, and I think this is really, really cool. Also in the box was Takara Legends LG16 Slipstream. Boom! Using the Windblade mold. Now, it's so funny. Like, I've looked at and I own now the BotCon one. I love it, using the first edition Starscream mold. And now I have this one, which is also really excellent. The funniest part is I never ever had a Slipstream. And now I have two of the more difficult ones to obtain. And not the Legacy United one, which is the easiest one to obtain. Go figure. She's beautiful. The purple is metallic. The teal, I guess, the turquoise, metallic, the silver. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous. I completely forgot how to do the transformation. So that was very interesting because I didn't look at the instructions really. I just sort of did it. And the other thing, Tuesday's review. I had to. I wasn't sure I was going to get this, but I had to. Tuesday's review, boom, Studio Series Q. The dude ain't Wheeljack. I ain't calling him Wheeljack. It's Q. Q. I'm going to use him as the character Q. I'm going to use him as like a mentor of Wheeljack. Kind of like, as Alpha Trion is to Optimus Prime, Q will be to Wheeljack, right? Still a tinkerer and all of that good stuff. The transformation is pretty involved, kind of bonkers. I enjoy it, but it's not necessarily easy to line everything up. Going back to robot mode, I do find getting these shoulder pieces in the right spot to be a pain in the rump. And I can confirm that the gold on his face is a mustache because the dude's head and face is meant to be very much akin to Albert Einstein. But shockingly, dude's fun. Dude is fun and better articulated and more functional than I thought he was really going to be. So tomorrow's is going to be Slipstream, and then Tuesdays is going to be Q, and next Fridays, well, we'll talk about that next Thursday. And that, my friends, is it. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you are in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate button. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time. Please hit the subscribe button. And especially this week, please hit the share button. I could really use it being shared around to some places. Things will be back to normal next week. Don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world, man. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams right here on Thursday nights right now, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way inside the videos. Have a tremendous weekend, folks, and I'll see you next week.